in our chatbot in Tkinter, we're able to achieve to this particular point. Here is where we can type something we want to give our chatbot, and we can click on search, then to print it on this our frame for. So how we can do this, remember that what we are going to make use of is that of the Meta API. It's easier for you to use and it's cheaper to make use of. And then so let's import our Meta API. I can say from our Meta underscore AI underscore API. I want to import what Meta AI. This Meta AI, you can actually take other these things like that of your Facebook logins, like that of the email and the password. But in most scenarios, not actually you use that. Is your choice if you want to put it. But in this scenario, we're not going to make use of. So I can try to initialize it. I can say AI is going to be our Meta AI. The link in the video, the link to how this Meta AI works is going to be in the description down below. So the video is titled how to create your own chatbot. I make use of this Meta AI to explain how you can create your own chatbot. So we're actually going to make use of it here to lessen the stress for us. So the next thing we're going to do, we can create a function called post. This post function is built one to get our text from our entry and then send it to our chatbot, our Meta AI chatbot, to get our input. So we can actually move this. You can try to initialize it, this Meta AI, inside of this of our function instead of calling it outside. So the next we are going to give our Meta our AI a test. So how can we do it? We can just say info. Just create a variable. It's going to be info. It's going to be our AI dot prompt. I've explained how this guy works. The link is in the description down below. So I'll just move on to the what we have here. So we're interested in giving it message. So we say message. Which message do you want to give? It's going to be our entry or what? Our entry or get. All these things I've explained. All these things in where details. This you are just trying to give it a message. This is a message parameter. I'm just going to give it an entry or get. And what is our entry? Is this entry here? So which is talking about this entry. Let me run it so you can see. This is our entry. We can type something here, and when we are done typing something here, it's going to be stored inside of this our entry.get, and it's going to be sent to our AI. So the next thing we want to do is actually to move it to that of our screen here. This big frame here, we need to be displayed there. So we can actually, let me go down a little bit. Okay, make use of the label to display those tests. You can just create a variable called info label, and then inside here we're going to call the label, because we're going to make use of the label class to display on the screen. So since we're going to put our scroll, this is our scrollable frame. Since this one we put our scrollable frame is because down here, this our scrollable frame is the frame that is going to hold all our tests. I've explained this in my previous video, so make sure to check it out so you don't get confused on what we are doing. So it's going to be on our scrollable frame, and what do we want to be on our frame? We want this our info to be there. So we can set our text. The text we want to display on the screen is going to be our info. Yeah, it's going to be our info, because when we send a message to this of our AI, it's going to display us information. It's going to be stored inside here. So we're going to grade this info label on our which is we're going to grade it inside of this frame that is here. Grade, or can make use of pack, because this is like a separate environment, and we can actually make use of pack. So I can say our info label dot what, I can set to pack it on the screen. When I use pack, it's going to be packed inside of this of our what is it called, our scrollable frame that is it. So let's run it. Before we can run this, since we have actually called initialize that of the Meta API, make sure you have internet connection for you to be able to execute this properly. But before we can do that, we need to actually set our post to be that of our button, which is our search button down right here. So we need to give it a command. So where is it? Yeah, which is going to set the command here. The command is going to be that of our post. So every time we click on that button, on that search button, it's going to come here and take what we entered on that entry box, and then it's going to send it to that of our AI, and then it's going to display it on our scrollable frame. So let me close this and then let's run it. Before you run it, make sure you have internet connection. it's going to take quite a little bit of time because of how it solely depends on how fast your internet connection is. So you can see everything done. So I can put my test here. I can say words. I can say latest what? Latest news in the what? In the world. So I can click on search. So if I click on search, it's going to wait for a small bit of time to get our result for us. So got kind of a message here, some of the latest updates around the world. We set it to be in widescreen, but it tends to be going in kind of a long distance that we do not want. So we need to fix this. We need to since this appears in the form of a dictionary, we need to actually do this. Let's do this quickly. So inside there will be here we'll be interested in that of the what? The message. Since it's a dictionary, we can directly call the message here. So let me close this and let's run it again. Today's latest news. Sorry, I don't have access to real-time news. I can suggest some ways. This AI can be funny at times. Let me just remove this and then search for latest news. Search for the latest news. Can you see telling me? Okay, this was our previous message that we gave our AI to actually get output for us. But you can notice a particular type of problem here. The first was that it extend in this way, keep on going from our left to our right instead of it trying to break to match our screen. And another thing we have problem have is that the older text was still on the screen. Meanwhile, we have a new one. But because we made use of pack tend to like back to the second side. So like I want go to row 2 but in the same color. So notice another problem is that you can see global politics. Rwanda has suspended humanitarian and blah blah blah. Other things that actually comes in. But the problem here is that it tend to be extend too long. So we're going to handle this in our next video. And also we're going to handle this of the we want to move the old one and bring out the new one to be able to display on the screen. That's what basically we're going to handle.